So we're very lucky to be joined by Sam Gyimah here in Westminster. Obviously you must be aware that since tuition fees have gone up, there's been a real terms pay cut for staff at universities. I was wondering, whether you think that's fair, given that, more funding has been given through tuition fees.
One of the reasons why our fees were increased is to make sure that our universities were in a financially sustainable position. And that has been one of the positive effects of the current fee system. Our universities are in a healthier financial situation, and I would expect, that although it's university autonomy, so the universities minister does not decide on the pay or the pensions of staff, but I'd expect that given university is fundamentally, running a university is a fundamentally people business, that the concerns around pay and pensions are taken very seriously by the leadership of universities.
Yes, because I imagine that some people would say those concerns suggest that the financial system of universities still isn't sustainable. It's not as strong as it should be, and perhaps could have been given the enormous rise in tuition fees.
Well, I don't know what you're suggesting. Whether you're suggesting higher fees?
No, more money for universities from the government.
There is a lot of money going into universities. In addition to fees, something that a lot of people are not aware of is that for high cost subjects, for example, medicine, the government tops up.
Yeah, I suppose the question
10
is,
grand per student.
Is there enough money going
science?
in? I'm sure there's a huge amount, into millions and billions probably, but is it enough? Given that real term cuts are still being made.
Well, as I said, you've got the fees, you've got the subsidy from the government for high cost subjects like medicine, engineering, and computer science. In the area of science, part of my brief is science research and innovation. We'll now be spending the highest amount we spent in 40 years. The budget has gone up by 66%, and universities are the recipients of a huge slug of the budget in science. So this is a government that is committed to making sure that our universities are well funded. But well funded also requires universities to be well run.
Yeah, and can I ask you on that? Obviously, you mentioned Vice Chancellor's pay and pay of staff as one of the concerns for the Office for Students. And just wondering, we worked this out, we've done some maths. I don't know if you know what a VK is. It's a drink, it's like a WKD. You can get them for
I don't know what a VK is.
for £10 in Cambridge clubs. And with the Vice Chancellor salary at Cambridge, he can buy 1,000 VKs a day. Do you think that's sustainable, or £1,000 a day?
I have no idea what a VK is. I have no idea what goes into a VK. But so you're asking me sort of a question about value. I don't know. But what I do know is that universities are public institutions. They might be autonomous, but they are public institutions, and the leadership of universities have therefore got to have regard to the fact that they are public institutions. What I most object to is high pay for mediocre performance, because that serves no one well. Certainly not students. And in order to avoid that kind of situation, the first thing is Vice Chancellors should not be in a position where they can effectively set their own pay. And that means being as far away as possible from the Remuneration Committee. Cambridge is a world-class university. I would expect that the competition and the person you need to run Cambridge is quite fierce. But at the same time, I want to see proper restraint because they are public institutions, but also transparency, and where the Office for Students is going to make a real difference is not only will the universities be required to publish the salaries of leading members of the university, but justifications alongside it. So we would all want to know if someone is earning 2 times what the Prime Minister is earning, to have it spelled out exactly why someone thinks that is what they are worth. And I think that transparency is what will bring some control, a measure of control to this.